Hi there. Welcome back. Back again for another video, another update on my life. And somehow there are people out there who find these interesting. I still don't quite understand why. I mean, I've received many comments on my videos, and people have given me reasons why they find these interesting and why they keep coming back. And they have been lovely to read. But every time I think about this channel and what I do on it, especially if I think about it from the perspective of a younger me, I am somewhat baffled as to why people keep returning. Because I'm just a guy. I'm just here, doing my thing, living life. And sometimes I talk about those things. I talk about what life, or how life has been treating me. And then I upload those thoughts to the internet, and people find them, and they resonate with them, and they understand, and they relate, and they enjoy. And you know what? Perhaps I shouldn't be looking at this with confusion, but instead acceptance. I mean, as if I wasn't doing that already, let's be honest. It's an interesting position to be in, but I'm grateful, and I appreciate each and every person who continues to come back. And you know what? Even if there were no people, even if it was just me talking to myself, I would still be making these. But I do appreciate having an audience, albeit a very small one, but yeah, I'm thankful for that. Anyway, welcome back to whatever this is, my weekly update on my life. And you know what? This week has been very good. It has been a very good week. And once again, I will do my best to recall everything that's happened this week. I already have some things in my mind that I want to talk about. So you know what? I'll start with the most prominent thing or feeling that I'm currently experiencing, which is, I guess, happiness, joy, appreciation, gratefulness. I don't know. This week has been very successful in regards to social interactions. I have had many lovely conversations with lovely people this week, and I have not discovered, because I already knew this, but I have enjoyed each and every one, because talking to people, interacting with people, socializing, I love it. it's so fun. It makes me feel good because people are taking the time out of their day to talk to me. And that is something that is so valuable. And I just want to say that I appreciate each and every person who has done that in the past, who will continue to do that in the future. It really means a lot to me. And I find it funny how probably this time last year, wait, no, well, maybe a little bit further, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was the complete opposite. And I would go out of my way to avoid social interaction. I would avoid people. I would ignore messages. And I would retreat to my own, what felt like at the time, safe space. My own isolated, corner of reality. And I would choose to be alone because I felt that was the only way I could exist. And I never appreciated, at least as much as I do now, the time and effort that people take to stay in contact with me, to talk to me, to make sure I'm okay. It's been a big change. I have gone through significant change in a short amount of time. And I know I bring this up a lot, but it is the first time in my life, at least that I can remember, where I've gone through such a significant amount of change. Like, I don't recall another period of my life where I went through such a dramatic transition in my personality, in my mental health, my physical health. Everything has changed. I feel like a new person, a better person. And it's been such a wild ride to experience it all firsthand. I don't think I can put it into words. At least not succinctly. But I guess fascinating is one word for it. It has been a fascinating journey so far. But rewinding a little bit, coming back to what I was originally trying to talk about before I got a bit sidetracked. Socializing, that's one aspect that has changed enormously. Going from someone who actively avoids social interaction to someone who actively seeks it out, and also gets sad when it doesn't happen, when it's not happening. Like, I genuinely, I feel sad. I don't know if there's another word for it. I guess, well, lonely is another word that another thing that I feel. I feel lonely when I'm not talking to people. It's crazy. It's so strange to think about. But this week has been a fantastic week for socializing. I have talked to so many different people, and I've shared some lovely conversations. For example, earlier this week, yes, today's the 26th, so earlier this week, I finished and submitted my final assignment, as did most other people, because the deadline was on Friday. And I was very relieved when that was all done with. And because I didn't go home for Christmas, I was able to kind of get a head start on those assignments. And instead of spending my Christmas with family or friends, I spent it doing university work, which I've already talked about. That had its own difficulties. Loneliness was running rampant during that time, and I didn't feel great overall, but I was able to distract myself with work. And so I had 2 assignments to complete. The first one I finished over the week of Christmas, and then the second I started a little later, towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, and I submitted it on Thursday. So I'm glad that's done. I do feel pretty good about it. I think it's decent. I'm not sure what grade I would give myself, but I think it's all right. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what that result is. I'm pretty sure I've passed. Like, I don't really have a doubt in my mind that, that hasn't happened. So I do feel pretty good. And you know what? For a first, it is it's the first of its kind, assignment-wise. So, out of all the things that we've done at university so far, the assignment that was due this week on Friday was the first of its kind, the first proper written academic piece of writing that we've had to do. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't terribly difficult to write. And looking back, I think I actually enjoyed the process a bit more than I was expecting to. The only difficulty that I had with it was actually starting. Finding the motivation to get started. But once that hurdle had been overcome, I found myself working on it a little bit every day, and got it all done before the deadline, so all good. It's been submitted, it's been successful. Well, yeah. And so, going back to my original point of social interaction, on the Thursday/Friday Friday, I think. Wait, did I submit Thursday? Or did I submit Wednesday? Now I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself. Anyway, whatever. I submitted it some point this week. Whatever. Anyway, so as I was saying, I obviously wasn't the only person who had to do this, and a bunch of people from my course were also doing it and finishing around the same time. And one person in particular I had a conversation with. And our conversation was kind of like a two-parter. It began one day and finished the next day. But we had a really, in my opinion, it was a really nice conversation about this work that we were doing. And I was given the opportunity to help them a little bit. I didn't do their work for them. They had done the work already, but they were asking me for advice. And I was obviously happy to provide whatever knowledge that I could give them. And it was just a really nice interaction. The person in particular is someone that I enjoy being around and talking to quite a lot. So it was really nice to spend that time with them, talking about our work, going through it together. We proofread each other's work, so I gave them mine and they gave me theirs. Checked for spelling mistakes and all that stuff. And it was just a really nice interaction. One that made me very happy. So, that's one of the things that has happened this week. One of the interactions that I've had. I've also spoken to other friends just about other stuff. I contacted an old friend of mine, a friend of mine from my previous friendship group, one that I haven't really spent that much time talking to since I began uni, because I've been so busy with stuff, and they've also been busy with stuff. But that's just life, isn't it? But because it's been so long since we've hung out properly, we have decided to spend some time together next week, catching up, talking about whatever. There's so much to talk about because it's been so long since we've had an actual conversation. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. It'll be nice to spend time with them again. And then also, I made a new friend this week. This is going to require a little bit of context. But I'm not going to go into too much detail because the context in question kind of refers back to an earlier point in the first semester that, looking back, I'd rather not remember, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do my best to explain this. Honestly, do I need to? Probably not. because what I want to talk about is the conversation that I've had with them. But this is my channel, and I'm going to talk about it. Okay? And you're going to like it. You're going to listen, and you're going to like it. And I don't want to hear anything else, all right? I don't want to see any comments saying, I don't care. Well, I care, and you're going to care. So, anyway, sorry. I don't know what came over me. As I was saying. So this person who I have now become friends with, which, by the way, this happened yesterday. Like, this is brand new. This is a new, exciting development. But it's been a lot of fun so far. So basically, this person, they were here, like in the country, as an exchange student. They have since gone back home. I mean, they're doing some traveling around Europe first, but then they're going back home. And they messaged me yesterday, because yesterday was their final day here in the UK. And even though we had been following each other, like on social media for a while, prior to their message yesterday, we never actually spoke or met in person. We were just, we had a mutual acquaintance in common, which is why or how we even knew each other in the first place. And that mutual acquaintance is what links back to the period of time during the first semester that I'd rather not remember. There's nothing wrong with the acquaintance, our mutual acquaintance. Like, they are a lovely person. They are also someone who I haven't really spoken to that much since the first semester. So maybe I should do that. But anyway, so yesterday I was out in town. I was doing some things, having a little wander, and also buying a gift for a different friend. And while I was out and about, I checked my phone and noticed that I had a notification from someone. Someone had messaged me, someone that I was not expecting to see. And that person was, well, I'm not going to say who they were because I like to keep things anonymous on this channel. But yeah, they messaged me, sent me an absolutely wonderful message. It was so lovely. It was so sweet. And even though I wasn't really in like a good place physically to like sit down and read it properly, I still read it while I was out and about, because it was so nice that I had to like fully look at it. I had to respond. I didn't send them like a real response straight away because, like I said, I was out, and I didn't want to sit down. Like, I didn't want to sit down somewhere and have this conversation with them at that time. So I just sent them a message saying, I can't talk right now. Let me go back home and I will respond in kind. And so that's what I did. After a couple hours outside, came back, and finally responded to their message. And turns out this person watches these videos or listens to these videos, because I have my YouTube channel linked on my Instagram account, and that's how they found it. And so they told me that they have been listening to these. And if you're listening right now, hi. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. And so, yeah, we started having a conversation yesterday. And it's continued into today, and we've just, it's been really nice. I don't know, they're such a nice person. And it's been lovely to chat to them. And yeah, we're both very happy with how things have turned out. And so that is another reason why I feel so positive and happy about my social interactions this week. I think that's probably all of them, at least all the significant ones. So yeah, just in general, overall, this week has been fantastic for talking to people. So yeah, it's put me into a good mood. I'm happy, and I'm ready for next week, because next week is going to be exciting. So next week I'm going climbing with a friend again, and then I'm also spending the day with that other friend who I haven't spoken to for a while. And then I may or may not be spending time with some other friends who I haven't spoken to in a while. So it's just, there's a lot happening, and I'm just really excited for it all. Like I said earlier, I love talking to people and socializing. It's so fun, and it's especially when it's with people that I already like love and appreciate, like my friends, you know. So yeah, pretty happy with all that at the moment. Other things have happened this week, but because I was so fixated on what I was just talking about, I seem to have forgotten. Let's see. What has happened? Well, I have continued going climbing every other day, which has been good. I have found... So actually today, I went climbing today. And before I went to the actual gym, I decided to do a little like workout here before I left, which I think I'm gonna try to do more often, because climbing is great. I love it, but I don't work every muscle, you know? Climbing is a full body workout, but I'll admit it can be quite upper body strength focused. So, you know, there are other parts that I feel should be addressed as well, which is why I did the workout today before I left. And I think moving forward, like I said, I'm going to try to do that more often, because overall I felt better. It did mean that I didn't spend as much time at the gym today, but I think I can be forgiven, because not only did I work out before I went to the gym, but it's Sunday, and the gym is very busy at the weekend, especially when the roots, the problems get reset and changed. There was like a swarm of people around the new area that got reset today. So I wasn't able to spend much time in the places that I wanted to be in, but that's fine. Actually, tell you what's not fine though. When they reset that area of the gym, they removed my favorite problem, my favorite route in the gym. It was a blue. It was a blue problem, and it started out on a vertical wall, but then it quickly transitioned into a horizontal like overhang, which you had to like climb underneath and around to get like to the top. It was really fun. I remember when it was first added to the gym, like a couple of months ago. Actually, maybe not even that long. I don't know. I've lost track of time. But it was added a while ago, and I remember the first time like I was considering it, I wasn't that strong, like of a climber. And I was there with some people from the Mountaineering Society. So I wouldn't necessarily call them friends, but they were friendly faces. They were acquaintances. And we were talking about this blue. And I remember giving it a go on that day. I didn't get very far, I don't think. I got maybe like halfway up. But that quickly, after that day, that blue route became like my project. That was what I wanted to work on. And so every time that I went back to the gym, I attempted it. And every time I got a little bit further up until eventually I did it. And then from there, like once I had done it the first time, every time I went back to the gym after that, I did it at least once. And over that period of time, I became better and better, more efficient, stronger at doing it. And it was great. And just recently, before it got reset, I was able to do it, well, before, like, yeah, just before it got reset, the couple times that I went to the gym, I was doing it multiple times. I was doing it like once when I first got there, once before I left. I was doing it to show people how to do it. Like, I became so proficient at this particular problem that it became my favorite problem in the gym. And now it's gone. It's gone, and I'll never climb it again, which is a sad thought. However, it has been replaced by a pink, which is technically harder because, well, on their difficulty scaling, it goes orange, yellow, blue, black, pink, green, red, purple, and then white, I think. I really should know this, but apparently I do not. So yeah, my favorite one, my old favorite one was a blue. This new one is a pink, so it's technically more difficult. But it's in the same location of the gym, and so there is like an overhang to it as well. And I think I've become pretty good with the overhangs. I mean, I'm not incredibly strong. But relative to my size and weight, I do think I'm pretty strong. So when I was doing the blue, towards the end, before it got reset, I was getting so good at it that I didn't even have to think about it. I was just doing it. And I was able to hold myself up horizontally with little to no problem. It was still a little bit of, there's still a little bit of effort required, because I was literally holding myself up vertically, horizontally. But it was easy enough. This new pink is also, it starts horizontal, which is crazy. And then it goes up to vertical. So I'm interested in trying it, and when I go climbing next week, I will definitely give it a go. And it may become my new favourite climb or route or problem in the gym. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, generally for climbing and exercising, I am feeling pretty good. I'm definitely noticing improvements. Like, I can see myself getting stronger, which is always nice to see. And, compared to how I was a year ago, yeah, pretty happy with my progress so far. So I'm going to continue doing that. At the moment, I'm going to the climbing gym every other day, but once we start uni back up again in February, with my new timetable, I don't know if I'll be able to go that frequently. Let me just double check my timetable. So, I mean, maybe I could. Thursdays are my busiest days, but Monday's pretty open, Tuesday's pretty open, Wednesday's my day off, Thursday's quite busy, and Friday is okay as well. So, you know what? Maybe I can. Maybe I can. We will see. But yeah. Fun things are happening. Oh dear. Okay, what else has happened this week? I submitted my assignment. I talked to a bunch of people, which made me happy. I've been climbing, which has also made me happy. I've had a friend show interest, like another friend show interest in climbing. So I may potentially have 2 friends to go climbing with, which is fun. That's exciting. What else? What else has happened? I don't know. Oh, there was that this week? I think so. So this week, yeah, it was this week. This week we had some like maintenance people in the building, and they wanted to go through each and every room to like check for things. So on Monday, there were some people who came into each room looking just to like generally check, I guess, to see if everything was still working. But specifically, they were making sure that Limescale wasn't building up on the shower heads. I think that was their priority. But then they also just checked like other stuff too. I wasn't here when they came because I was given a window of time that they would be here, and I made sure not to be here when they were here because I just didn't want to deal with that awkward interaction. So that was on Monday, and then on Thursday there was another like set of maintenance people coming around, but these people were checking the like the electricals, the the appliances that have been supplied. And the window of time that they gave me for Thursday was like 9 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. That's 7.5 hours. I can't be out of my room for that long. There's nothing to do for 7.5 hours. So I had to sit here for this one, or like stay. I was here for that one. At least on Monday, it was like Monday was easy. It was, I think it was 2 until 4:30 in the afternoon, which is fine. Like I chose that time to go climbing. And when I came back, they had been and gone. But yeah, on Thursday, 9 until 4:30. Yeah, I can't go climbing for that long. So I just had to sit here and wait for them to show up. Thankfully, it didn't take very long. It was just a single guy. He came in, checked the appliances, made sure they weren't like broken or anything, and then he left and continued into the other rooms. But he put a bunch of stickers on my appliances. So now my oven, my fridge, my hob, they all have like these electrical safety stickers on them now. So I guess that's fun, I guess. I don't know. That happened this week. What else happened this week? I don't know. I don't know if there is much else that's happened this week. I've been out a couple times, just like on my own. I went for a walk today, and it just so happened to be raining at the time. But actually, going out for walks in the rain is something that I like to do. Because usually, rain, if it's raining, that means there are less people outside, which is always a good thing. Less people to get in the way, less people to, I don't know, see, look at. And don't get me wrong, I like people. I like talking to people. I mean, we've already established this within this video. I like interactions, social interactions specifically. But dealing with strangers on the street is a slightly different ballgame. I am not as fond of strangers on the street as I am with friends or, friendly acquaintances or whatever. So if it rains, it usually means people are inside. And so that's when I choose to go outside in the hopes that I run into less people. And I would say that was true. I didn't see many people out. Granted, I went out at like 3:30 in the afternoon. By the time I got back, it was about 5. So it was dark, it was wet, it was a bit miserable, it was a bit cold. I mean, that's just England, but, point is, the circumstances kind of led to not many people being out, which is fine, works for me. But the other benefit of going out in the rain, especially if you have like an umbrella or a raincoat with a hood, is you get to listen to the sound of the rain pitter-patter against whatever it is that's above you, keeping you dry. And I really enjoy the sound of rain. People sometimes use that sound for like white noise, like sleeping noise. Just listen to the sound of rain, like against a window or something. Like there's something about it. It's calming, relaxing. It's nice. It's peaceful. And then like I said, you combine that with a lack of people, and it's just, yeah, it's nice. It's good. So I went out for a little walk earlier. I wanted to try and go somewhere where I haven't been before, and I did do that. However, because it was so dark, I could barely see where I was going, and so I decided to just come back instead. But I might go back that way during the day because it looked interesting. It looked like it was leading somewhere that I hadn't seen before. So that's always exciting. I love exploring new places. So yeah, I went out today. I've also been out a couple times earlier this week. I went food shopping earlier this week, but that's not very exciting to talk about. Yeah, just going out, doing. Yes, I can speak English. I promise. Yep, yep. I'm proficient. I would describe myself as a native, actually, in English. Mm-hmm. Pretty fluent. Now, as for my Korean, oh dear, that needs some improvement. And you know what? Um, all the time that I have been spending on my other assignments that are now completed and submitted, I was not focusing on my Korean like I should have been. I can only do so much at once, you know? I'm on a course where I have to continue to do things in English as well as Korean. Like I can't do both. I can't do English assignments and dedicate time each day for like Korean study. It's just too much. But now that they are done and out of the way, I can refocus on my Korean, and I definitely need to because I went to the library yesterday and I sat myself down, told myself I was going to do some Korean studying, and I did, but only for about an hour before I lost motivation to continue. And while I was doing it, I realized just how much I had forgotten. So I'm definitely a bit rusty at the moment. I'm trying though. I'm really trying. The new friend that I made yesterday is Korean. And so we have been chatting back and forth, including, some Korean in our messages. So it's a mix of Korean and English. And it's been great. Good practice. But I need more. I need to do more. Definitely before we go back to uni as well. So I'm going to try to do something every day leading up to when we go back. And we will see how long I can keep that up. But to be honest, I don't have anything else to do at the moment. Like, my days are so empty. At least when I was doing the assignments, I had assignments to do, you know? But now that they're done, I don't have anything else. I've got nothing to keep me occupied, or at least nothing interesting. I think that's also another reason why I value social interaction so much, is because it's something to do. It's a distraction from the emptiness around me. And it sucks that I live alone, because I think if I lived with people, with friends specifically, I wouldn't run into this problem as much, I don't think. But unfortunately, I do live alone, and I will be continuing to live alone for my second year as well. I don't know if I've already explained this or not. I feel like I might have. Um, you know what? I'm not gonna bother. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not gonna bother explaining it. But I will say that I think it was earlier this week. Maybe. Was it this week? 1 second. 22nd. That was this week. Yes. So that's something else that's happened this week. Something else I can talk about. Okay. I just said I'm not going to bother explaining it, but I might have to for the sake of this. I am moving into a different studio apartment for my second year at university. Starting from September of this year, I will be moving just slightly down the road to a different place. And I booked a viewing for that accommodation earlier this week. And I went down and I was shown around by, I guess, like the manager. I don't know what his position was or is, but he showed me around, answered any questions that I had, and yeah, it seemed really nice. I'm looking forward to moving in because it also means that I will be moving into. So, even though I'm moving into a studio, which, that means I've got to live alone again, but my neighbors will be my friends from my course. And that's fun. That's exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I mean, that was about it, really. The guy who was showing me around, there wasn't much to see. Not really. I wasn't able to look at the room that I will be moving into specifically because the tenant is still there. But I was able to look at a similar room, and it was quite nice. It was bigger than I was expecting. I think it's slightly bigger than the one I'm staying in right now. Granted, there are other areas that are smaller, so the kitchen area is definitely smaller. It's like half the size, which kind of sucks a little bit, I can't lie. Also, I don't know if there was an oven. Yeah, I don't know if there was an oven. I don't remember. But something tells me there wasn't, which will be interesting to deal with when I get there. I'm not sure how I'm going to cook food, but we'll figure that out. The bathroom, definitely smaller, but plus side, my wardrobe. I will actually have a functional wardrobe. At the moment, I'm using this tiny, like, storage closet thing to keep all of my clothes in, and it's really not enough. It's not big enough at all. So I'm looking forward to having an actual wardrobe. Because since I moved here, my interest in my personal fashion has grown significantly. And I actually care about what I'm wearing now. I didn't used to, but I do now. So yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be good. Overall, the place was nice. Pretty standard, like, same sort of stuff that you get here. But the guy was really friendly. He was definitely, um, what's the word? Uh, I'm not sure. But he was hinting towards. Oh, no, that's not the right. That's not the right word. Um, he was making it very clear that the residents and the staff members are like a big community. It had a very social feel to it, and he was saying stuff like when residents who have been living here for a long time leave, it's an emotional moment for the staff members because of how close they have like grown to each other during that time. That's not really a good way to explain it, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. You're just making it seem very homely and, familial. Is that a word? Not familiar, familial. Like family, sort of. Whatever. I'm not an English student. I'm a Korean student. As if I would know that word in Korean anyway. Point is, it seemed very nice, and it wasn't that far away from all of the major things that I need or use right now. I mean, it's just down the road. It's like 5 minutes down the road. So, yeah, pretty good location, pretty good facilities and all that stuff. The room was nice enough, and yeah, I am looking forward to it. But you know what? I think that's probably everything for this week that's happened. Now, before I go, I do want to point one thing out. And I want to say this is not something that I have done on purpose. Somehow, this has happened naturally. But so far, the videos that I have been uploading to this new playlist, so the videos that I've been making since I got to uni, have been alternating in length between somewhere around 30 minutes to somewhere around 1 hour. And it's gone like 1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour. I have not done that on purpose. And this week, this video is going to be about an hour. Last week, it was about half an hour. And I don't know why this is happening. And again, I'm not trying to do this on purpose. I just thought it was an interesting development that I noticed recently when looking at all of my videos. So, yeah, the more you know, I guess. I don't know what you're going to do with that information. Probably nothing. And that's fine. I'm also going to do nothing with that information. I just thought it was interesting. But because of this pattern that's been forming, I do have to yap for another minute and just talk about nothing to get to 1 hour. Because now that I've pointed it out, I'm going to probably try and maintain it. Because that's how my brain works. And I like patterns. So apologies, but next week might just be 30 minutes long. I don't make the rules here, okay? This is just how it's happened, okay? But yeah. Oh man. What an interesting week. What a fun week it's been. Looking forward to next week. I think so there are still some people who are like at home from the Christmas holidays. I think most people are going to start coming back next week. So that's exciting. Looking forward to seeing more friendly faces around. And there's a couple people in particular that I'm excited to see. But yeah, I think that's everything. So I'm going to call it here. I hope you have had a good week yourself. I hope that next week goes well, or, is productive or positive, or I don't know, whatever. I just hope life is treating you well. That's all I wish for. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me yap about nothing, basically. I always appreciate when people show up and show support. It's nice. It's nice. But yeah, I'm gonna go, and I'll see you next week, I guess. Yeah. Good night and farewell. What? I don't know. Bye.